Go ahead. Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Oh, you fancy, huh? Nail done, hair done, everything done. Nail done, hair done, everything done. What's up, y'all? It's Thirsty Thursdays. I hope you're feeling good, because I know that you're looking good. Because I'm feeling good. And I hope that, our magenta tie here, we're feeling good and looking good. So, today we're going to conclude the little segment about sports and how it relates to us, or maybe not relate to us in whatever kind of way that you may think for yourself, but who knows? Hold on, let's turn up this brightness here. Let's make sure we are bright and full of physics. There we go. So, just talking today, the fourth day about it. Well, first of all, let me give a shout out. Let me give a shout out to, and believe me, if I forgot about you before, I really apologize. But Lil Will Band 614, I appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. And, I hope that more people come over to hear what we got to say, leave some comments, give their input. But I just wanted to thank him today because he subscribed today. I appreciate you. Ja Morant. Ja Morant. I've watched basketball for a long, long time. And Ja Morant was one of those kind of talents. And anybody that watches basketball knows, even if you don't watch him or you just watch casually, you kind of know. I mean, this guy was box office. He was electrifying a few years ago. And I mean, you thought to yourself, hey, look, you knew that LeBron was kind of, getting a little older. So you figure to yourself, hey, look, Ja is going to be the new face of the league. He is going to be the man. And so that's what most of us as basketball fans thought. It was a small market like Memphis, but still, a lot of people like the Grizzlies. And you felt like this was one of those guys that was going to be that guy. And then what happened? He started getting into trouble. He started having, incidents with guns. Then he was in a strip club with a gun. Then allegedly he threatened somebody in the mall. Then, he allegedly got into something else where he was sitting in a car and he was brandishing a gun. And although, as we know, having a gun, especially if you're legally able to carry a gun, is not the problem. But what the problem comes in is that when you're a guy who is, for better or for worse, however you want to look at it, a role model, you're making $20, $30 million a year, sometimes $40, $50 million a year, whatever. You have an obligation to people other than the people that you love. You have a community obligation. And, I don't know, and I get it, like a lot of times people, they stand on the other side of this saying, well, I got mine, so you got to get yours and all this other kind of stuff. But the deal is that you have an obligation to the community to be a better person, to do things in a different way. And why am I bringing this stuff up now? Is because at one point before Ja wound up getting suspended, he was suspended already before, I think a year before last. And his career over the last couple years has just not been the same. And he was suspended because of all of these off the court issues that were going on. So you see how we're like, you can have all of the talent in the world. You can have all of the potential in the world. But if you don't have the sense to go along with it, and I'm not calling them stupid, but if you don't have the wherewithal, the awareness. One thing that I always tell people, you think about yourself and you say, well, what gift in life was I gifted? As far as, intangible things that you really can't touch. Like some people were gifted like Ja to be 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Some other people were gifted to be extremely strong or huge hands where they could catch footballs or throw footballs and just do other things or sing or rap or dance. And some people are just gifted with, like we all are, some things that just are like inclinations. Like me, I think I'm gifted with a good sense of awareness of people. So therefore, I have not struck out a lot as far as having a decent amount of decent people around me. Now, I've made mistakes, trust and believe me, right? But for the most part, I've kept good, decent people around me. And I feel like, and I hope that they feel like in keeping me around, they've done the same. But when you start to do things that go against what people would look and say, hey man, you know what? That's a good decision. Those are good decisions. Especially now, even in the black community where gun violence is, I don't even want to say black community, all of this community in America, gun violence is running rampant and it's out of control. But especially since it's always highlighted regularly in the black community, and that is the largest suicide rate is from 14 to 40 or 14 to 35, I believe, with black men is homicide from one black man to another one. All right. So we can't ignore that. But the thing is that what Ja was doing is that he was showing and he was brandishing these guns. Now, somebody would say, hey, listen, dog, even if you're making $2 million a year and you're in the NBA has their own security. The Memphis Grizzlies have their own security. And he's in a position where he could have hired his own security. But, because of, unfortunately, the way some social media presence may plan out, the way sometimes some of these guys are doing some of their things, some of the younger guys, it's one of those things where he lives in a tough city. He plays basketball in a tough city, which is Memphis. So, you kind of want to embody that. Now, nobody except Ja knows exactly what was going through his mind with all of these different instances of brandishing guns or having an issue or like another one, like I said, allegedly, where he got into something with a 17-year-old on a basketball court, all of this other kind of stuff, because we know that certain things arise. And it's funny how, like, when one thing happens, now people found out about this, now they found out about that, now they found out about this. And to bring it all together, as I often ask you, is there anybody that you know like this? Somebody that was just blessed with an abundance of talent, an abundance of potential, but they couldn't get out of their own way. There was always an issue. It could have been you. Me, I felt like I haven't lived up to my full potential at all. But what I haven't done is that I haven't done anything to possibly put myself in jail or put somebody else in jail because of me not living up to my potential or me losing millions of dollars because I didn't live up to whatever potential that is that I sought for myself to be in my life. So when certain guys like a Ja Morant have the opportunity, they have the resources, and the beauty about it is he has his dad and his mom there right along the way. So he doesn't even fall in the category of being one of these guys who grew up without a dad or without a good, strong support system. Now, of course, none of us ever know the dynamics of those two. But the thing is that at least he's still present, meaning his dad. A lot of people are out here, whether famous or not, without their dad. So that also makes the situation a little more even, head scratching, because you say, Dad, your dad is there at all of the games. Your dad is always there. And some people will say, they make a big deal out of it. But it's not a big deal. Because this is how the world works. A lot of times, your community, and since I'm from the black community, black American community, we'll let people off the hook for certain things. Because we're not the ones typically who sponsor many things. So you say, well, gee, what do you mean? We typically don't put up the money for a lot of stuff. We typically don't back a lot of stuff. We typically don't sponsor a lot of things. But you know who sponsors a lot of things? People who don't want to see people brandish guns around. Especially when it comes to their sports, their entertainment, things like that they do to try to get away from certain things in life. So, although a lot of people in the black community may not have found any issue with him brandishing guns and doing other stuff like that because he ain't shoot nobody, he ain't hurt nobody, right? But the problem is the people that he gets paid by, they don't want to see it. And to be honest with you, even people like me, older guy, I don't want to see it either. Because most of us that grew up in the inner city understand firsthand what guns do. Like, it's not whether we shot one, whether we shot somebody, whether we've seen somebody get shot. We know firsthand what guns do. So why would I want to see a kid that's young enough to be my son, that's got all of the talent in the world, walking around brandishing a gun regularly? For what reason? And the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because, you know how they say trouble is easy to get into, but hard to get out of. And anybody that watches sports knows that Ja Morant's star just has not been the same. Whether it's because he received, I think it was a half-year-long suspension, whether it's because when he came back, he stretched it and got hurt, then was out most of last season, whether it's because now he's just gotten suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, because when they asked him about his play currently, he says, you need to ask the coaches. You see? You see how greatness doesn't always equate to having all of the accolades, having everything that you should have. Ja Morant is a world-class athlete. He's a great basketball player. He should be in a much higher level than what he is for the type of player that he is. But because of all of those other transgressions, he is now paying the price for that. He's still young, so it doesn't mean that he can't get out of it. But the problem is that when you start to do things to mess up the money, because we always talk about it. Everybody talks about, oh man, you know, I ain't no sellout. I ain't no such and such and such as I got it. But in this society, in this world, where you going to live at without any bread? Where are you going to live out? Where are you going to live out without any bread? And newsflash, there aren't a lot of black people out there paying that bread. I go back to even when Kyrie got suspended for the dumbest reason. Now, the COVID thing, I was like, okay, well, you know, that was an illness deal. But like that goofiness that happened when he liked somebody else's book about blacks being the first Hebrews or whatever it was, whether people agreed or not, for him to be suspended until he went to some classes to understand everything like that, or to do some research and get some understanding of different cultures. That salary that he missed out on, I don't know, it's probably a few $1 million, $4 million, whatever. Did any black people step up? Did any black organizations step up and say, hey, Ja? No, I'm sorry, not Ja. Hey, Kyrie, we're gonna supplement this income that you've lost because you liked something on somebody else's social media. Which sounds crazy, right? But nobody stepped up to give him a dime that was black. There was no GoFundMe, none of that other kind of stuff. Because see, you, me, we all have to be cognizant of who pays us. And you can be as pro-black, pro-whatever as you want to be. But in this country, unfortunately, if you're not pro-green, you're going to be a bum. So my thing for Ja is, and this is what I think Ja should do. Now y'all tell me what you think. I think that it's time for him to go to a new location. Sixers, y'all like Ja Morant? Okay. It's time for him to go to a new location. It's time for him to go somewhere where he can start anew, where he can get himself together, where all that other kind of stuff could be behind him. He could get what they call a fresh start and go and display his talent, because I still think he's a talented guy. He just got suspended for one game the other day. Still think he's a talented guy. But like a lot of times with a lot of us, especially when you're young, you got to figure out a way to get out of your own way. But you tell me what you think, you know? And I want y'all to make sure y'all share this. I know there's some sports fans out there, and if not, get the message of what I'm saying. And while you're doing that, make sure you live life. Don't let life live you.